I'm Geoffrey in a demonstration of a battle from 1648, 30 Years of War, a total conversion of medieval to total war. So some players were asking, how would one fight a battle at this time, or how would I fight a battle? So here's a battle between the Dutch and Cologne. The Dutch will deploy in the Dutch formation and the Cologne in the Spanish formation. The units are very similar on both sides. The Dutch have 14,000 florins, Cologne has 15,000 florins. The units are 1 general's bodyguard, 2 units of cuirassiers, 2 units of arquebusiers, 1 piece of artillery, falconets, and enough infantry to make 4 battalion, so 8 units of musketeers, 4 units of pikemen, and 2 units of dragoons. And this will be the Dutch army. The Cologne army is similar again. 1 general with a general's bodyguard, 2 units of cuirassiers, slightly better ones, 2 units of arquebusiers, again slightly better ones, a piece of artillery, again better artillery. And in this case we have deployment in the Spanish tertiary type formation, so we have 6 pikemen, 6 musketeer units, and again 2 dragoons. So let the battle begin. I will be showing the battle from a replay so I can concentrate on the commentary. But let's have a look at the formation. So here is the formation as is being automatically calculated before the battle by the mod. I don't change very much. I will leave it more or less as it is.
Through God's grace and the intercession of St. George, we have been brought to this place, brought here to fight for his glory and in his name. Our enemies must quail before our righteous might. We would do well to pray, because the shedding of blood is an offense, but it is one that we willingly do, for by it we establish God's peace. These horse lovers are not fit enemies for you, lads, but they are the best that I can do today. I'm sure you will do your best to kill them anyway, as stout-hearted English yeomen. The enemy have brought guns to this battle. Guns! The weapons of cowards and women. But this may be tricky, for we have no heavily armored troops to assault them directly. Now follow the banners and march away. To glory, you English, and a victorious day!
A wonderful and inspiring speech from a general, an amazing speech. So lucky, except that we are not commanding the English, we are commanding the Dutch. Almost as brave and glorious looking. So let's get started.
Units, await my orders!
So we will watch now the replay of my battle so I can concentrate on the commentary. So I'm only moving these 2 units of cavalry in the center, moving them to the flanks. And otherwise everything will stay more or less as it is. The infantry in 4 battalion will be on guard and grouped together. There will be a unit of cuirassiers and arquebusiers on either wing, with a unit of dragoons at the front. And the cuirassiers here have a task to protect our falconet battery, our artillery on that side. Similar arrangement on the other side as you see here. My usual battle plan is nothing special. I leave the infantry where it is and skirmish on the flanks with the cavalry. So here's the enemy. It has infantry in the center. The cavalry of the enemy is also skirmishing on the flanks. On this side, a unit of cuirassiers and a unit of arquebusiers are approaching our artillery, and the dragoons are firing at our own dragoons. So you can see here now my cuirassiers are moving forward to protect the falconet battery of artillery. Musketeers are firing at the enemy. The arquebusiers are skirmishing towards the enemy dragoons. And our cuirassiers are now about to attack the enemy arquebusiers that are skirmishing on the right hand of this picture. Our artillery is about to fire against a concentration of units in the center. And the fire of our artillery not only killed about 20 or 30 enemy soldiers, but has routed the enemy cuirassiers on the side, and now our cuirassiers are chasing the enemy cavalry on the side. Our arquebusiers have routed the enemy dragoons, and so the enemy wing on the side has been completely routed. Our dragoons are moving forward to flank the enemy, and the enemy now is unknowingly, or the AI unknowingly, is splitting its forces in the center into two, sending the pikemen forward, detached from the musketeers. The musketeers stay back around the general, and then 6 units of pikemen move towards the center of our lines. Now, not only our pikemen are fewer, they are also not as good. The strength of the Catholic armies was their pike. And so not only do we have fewer pikemen, we actually don't have as good pikemen, and we are being attacked with 6 enemy pikemen. Here the enemy artillery has scored a hit against musketeers on that side. And so one of our pike units is engaged with an enemy pike unit here on the right, but there are 5 pike units gathered in the center, and we only have 1 pike unit to stop them, so we're completely outnumbered in the center. And that's the fate of this battalion. They are going to be very hard pressed, and also probably the one here on the right. They're going to be hard pressed. Nonetheless, we routed 1 unit pike there. But the other 2 battalions in the distance on our left, on the left wing of our deployment, have been left completely untouched. This is another annoying aspect of how the AI fights. It sends everybody in one place. And so we have 2 intact battalions on the left. They are in the Dutch formation, and they are firing without being disturbed at all by any enemy. It's completely crazy how the AI fights.
The enemy general flees like the coward he is. Press onward and break the spirit of his army.
We'll try to do our best. That's the best we could do. And so the musketeers are there in the distance, the enemy musketeers. We are harassing them with arquebusiers, with our artillery, and we're doing actually quite well. The 2 tertiarii on the side are under heavy pressure, but everywhere else we're winning.
Our men have captured the enemy general. Guard him well and make it so he can see us defeat the rest of his army.
So musketeers are moving back to get a better field of fire. They are regrouping. They are firing at the enemy. We just have 1 pike unit delaying all the enemy pikemen, but they are doing the task well.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
And I would say this is more or less historically, because it's difficult on the battlefield to command everybody in a kind of micromanaging kind of way. So people have orders.
Only half the enemy force remains.
That they're going to set up. There will be a certain way to fight, as tertiaries, as battalia, in a combined way, pikemen with musketeers in a certain style that have been trained in. And during the battle, the general can issue minimal commands. basically what we're doing here now, we are routing the enemy center, the musketeers. We are hitting them with artillery, with the dragoons on the flanks, with arquebusiers in the rear. And the enemy basically just has one unit of pikemen and 2 units of musketeers still resisting. Everyone has been routed. Another unit of musketeers has been routed. The musketeers here will receive a cannon hit. And the falcon is in the rout. Everyone routs now.
Behold how our cowardly foe runs. It's time to press the attack.
And that is the battle. I would say there's nothing special about the way I fought. It's the only thing is I don't go crazy micromanaging the infantry. Yeah, these formations were made so as to be effective. They were worked through over decades of battles. And these formations should be effective. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to go around chasing this unit, chasing that unit, skirmishing here. You just leave them as far as possible. You leave them where they are. Just let them do their thing. There's not much strategy otherwise, and skirmish on the flanks with the cavalry and hope for the best. Cavalry and dragoons. Dragoons are quite important. They have a lot of firepower. They can provide a lot of support for cavalry. It was very common to have musketeers or dragoons supporting the cavalry on the flanks. It was not unusual. So that's it. One bad thing we could not really do very much about when we were making this mod is we could work on the AI, the battle AI, we could do the best we can. One thing we cannot do is to make the AI keep its formation, keep the musketeers together with the pikemen, keep the formation it was set up, whether it's a Spanish tertiary type, whether it's a Dutch formation type. So it just sends the pikemen forward regardless and leaves the musketeers behind or something. It's okay for the musketeers to stay behind, but why do they get so separated? We could do very little. If we could do something at one point, but it made the AI very effective because nobody was doing anything. The pikemen was trying to stay together with the musketeers, but they were not doing anything useful. The musketeers were trying to stay together with the pikemen, but they were sort of marching forward instead of shooting because they were trying to stay together. It's very ineffective. The other thing is that the engine is a medieval engine, so the musketeers don't fire on the march. Not only don't they work together with the pikemen, they don't fire on the march. They should be firing on the march. Again, we could not do anything much about that. I would say this is the best one can do to model a pike and sword type battle with the medieval 2 AI.
This is a clear victory that goes to only men of great virtue and valor.
So this is the result. We lost some 600 men. We killed almost 3,000. So our cavalry did reasonably well, especially in collecting prisoners. But one of our arquebusier units also inflicted very heavy casualties. Our musketeers played a big role in routing the enemy, not just causing casualties, but also routing the enemy through their fire, lowering the morale of the enemy units. The pikemen obviously did next to nothing, although one pike unit inflicted 168 casualties. That's a very good job from them. 2 of the pike units did not get involved at all. The dragoons did very well. As I said, they're very crucial. They killed about 120 men each, and they are very critical for achieving victory on the flanks. So that was the battle. I hope it was useful. As I said, nothing special. It's a very simple style of fighting, a very traditional, not very different than what you would have expected from a battle from this period of history. Thank you for watching.